the recording button. Okay, this meditation is called the Spiritual Garden, or the Garden of Self. I got the basic idea from a wonderful book, even though I'm making changes to be able to bring it to you, called Meditation Express. You can get that on Amazon.com, I believe, even though it's old. So right now, everybody just relax. You don't have to look at the screen even though we're broadcasting. The archive will be here. We just want you to relax. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. And go ahead and do that a few times until you feel centered and relax, and just sit back in your chair or your bed. If you're watching the soccer game, turn the volume down so you can listen to the meditation. The soccer game score will still be there in 5 minutes. Now, if it's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. If not, then keep them open until it is comfortable. Because we're going to bring you to the theater that is in your own mind. So you don't need to be looking at me. You just have to look at the images that you're creating in your own head. So when I say 3, you're going to find yourself standing in a huge, huge garden. 1, 2, 3. Now go ahead and take a good look around at your garden. Is there any place that needs to be weeded? Is there a place where you have to till the soil before you plant some new seeds? Is it lush and green and flowering? Is it full of fruits and vegetables? What does your garden look like? Now I want you to take a look at the weeds. There's always weeds in the garden, or a plant that looks like it's dying or unhealthy and you need to pull it out. When you see something that needs pulling, I want you to think of it as pulling out things that you also want to take out of your own life. For example, perhaps you need to pull the weed of smoking cigarettes, or the weed of drinking too much, or the weed of not getting enough exercise, or a weed of anger. Perhaps you see a sickly plant and you recognize that, oh, that's me right now because I'm not feeling good about myself. So go ahead and pull those weeds. Any weeds that you don't like, give them a name and just pull them out, and you're going to go ahead and put them in a bucket. Let's go ahead and collect all those weeds or dying plants or dead plants. Just take them out of the ground. Throw them in this big bucket. And I noticed that you're wearing an apron with a big pocket. Stick your hand in that pocket and pull out a bunch of seeds, packets of seeds with different labels on them. Perhaps some of those say health, vitality, laughter, joy, creativity. See what is written on the packets of seeds that you pulled out of your apron pocket. You may have only one packet of seeds, you may have a dozen. It doesn't matter, just take a look and see what they say, because you're going to go ahead and plant some seeds. Wherever there was a dead plant, you're going to rake over that icky patch, and you're going to put in a fresh, clean seed, a healthy seed of something that you really want in your garden. So go ahead and take a look at those seeds, open up the packets, and go ahead and drop a couple seeds in a little hole. You can make a hole with your finger, you can make a hole with a spade. Whatever you see in your garden that's yours to use, go ahead and use it. Now go ahead and you'll see a big watering can over in the corner of the garden. Pick up that watering can and go ahead and water those new seeds really good. Drench them with life-giving water. And if you watch, you may see a few of them already sprouting. Pay attention to what you see sprouting. Pay attention to the way your garden is laid out. Is it nice and orderly? Is it like a wild garden? If it's wild, do you think it needs to be more orderly? Or if it's really orderly, do you think it may need to be a little bit more wild or have little areas that are a little bit more free to grow wildly? It's up to you, because this is your garden and you can change it anytime you want. And go ahead and pick up a few handfuls of dirt and put them in the bucket on top of the weeds and those sickly plants that you pulled up. Make sure you put enough dirt in there to totally cover those plants so you can't see them anymore. You're going to leave that bucket out in the sun so that those plants can become compost, and you can use that to enrich the garden later. And a way you can look at it as enriching the garden that you're growing for your now and tomorrow with the experiences and the lessons that you've learned from the past. Now let's go around the garden one more time. Take a look at everything. Observe what's growing. Observe what you want to grow. If you've got more seeds left in those packets, just fold the packet up, put it away, because you're going to do this exercise again before you go to sleep. If you do this exercise a few times in a row before you go to sleep, you're going to see a lot of things changing in your life for the better without even having to really try. You'll be inspired because you're observing the way your own mind is growing and the way your own spirit is growing. And you'll see where you have control. So remember, every night when you lay down, go ahead and look at your garden, pull up anything that doesn't belong in it, compost it, and plant new seeds. Seeds of the things that you want. Now take another minute to enjoy the fresh air, to enjoy the beauty of what's growing in your garden, to enjoy the anticipation of the things that are going to be coming up in your garden, the good things, the things you love. Smell that fresh air. Smell those flowers. Soon they'll be bearing fruit, delicious fruit. Fruit that will nourish you, heart and soul and body. Now it's time to wash off your hands. And when I count to 3, you'll find yourself peacefully back in your chair, feeling more refreshed than you have felt in days. Proud of the garden that you are now planting for your own well-being. 1, 2, 3.